With the trip and everything at Strange Field.
Yeah, very good. Had a good one today. Threw it around very, very well. Connor's he does all that stuff. I mean, you don't have to worry about a bunch of stuff. He's going to be ready to go. And he had a real good practice. He's a focused kid, and he's brought the game plan, a couple days off, and he's had a couple good days, better day today, definitely.
Considering how the last two bowl games have gone, especially from the quarterback angle, do you think that's a little more fuel to the fire for him to want to play well?
I hope so. I mean, it should be. It should be for our entire team. I think it's something we've got to change. We've got to go win a bowl game, and the big thing is last year the turnovers have been harping on protecting the football. You see it a lot in bowl games in general. You get a little layoff, and a lot of times taking care of the ball, you see a lot of funky plays in bowl games and turnovers, and it happened to us last year. You can't turn the ball over and expect to be a good football team. So we've been harping on that as well, and Connor's done a good job of protecting the football all year as well.
Are defenses generally ahead of offenses in bowl games? Does the defensive stuff stick a little better than the timing of the offense that
I think all that stuff's overrated. Even I haven't been mostly an offensive guy. I've never even agreed with the defense ahead of the offense back in camp. I never bought into that. That's if you do stuff now over the summers and things that change and all that, and it's not like our guys weren't out doing some things, even though we had a little break in between. They were still tossing it around. So I'd like to think that it should all stick. If you're a good player and you keep doing your things and studying your stuff during a break, then it should stick no matter what you play.
Has Connor's approach changed in the last 6-7 weeks after, like before and after with Steven here? In terms of, but now we know he's the number one guy opposed to the first half of the year.
Well, sure. I mean, I think anybody does that to carry yourself. I mean, I've seen a difference as his confidence has grown, through the season. It's all, we've talked about it before. The more quarterbacks need to play, the more they play, the quicker the game slows down for them. And the more it slows down for him, the more their confidence grows. And that's what you've seen with Connor. I just think he's a much more confident guy now than he was 7 or 8 weeks ago. And so I don't know that his approach necessarily. Connor's always approached it as, I'm going to be the starting quarterback, really, since the day he got here. It's something that he planned on. It's something that, when he came here, that's what he planned on being, the starting quarterback. So I don't know that it's changed, but I definitely see a difference in his confidence level, and that's good for us.
How was Nebraska defended the zone read play this year from what you've seen on film?
Well, different ways. I mean, they run it themselves and run a bunch of that stuff. So, they've got all their ways they try to stop themselves, I'm sure, in practice. And it's always interesting to see when you go. And I don't think you ever really know until the game starts. That's why it's a thing of adjusting and adjustments, during a game, because you never really quite know how somebody's going to try to play and who they're going to be the number one option to stop, whether it's a running back or quarterback.
Well, the fact they see it every day in practice with Martinez, does that going to help them? Or does it even matter?
I don't think it matters much. I think depending on how they decide they want to attack it, it depends. There's been some quarterbacks that have had some success against them running the ball. It's not necessarily all that zone read stuff, but they'll have a plan, I'm sure, and we got to be ready to go.
When you say adjustments, how do you adjust it? Do you adjust the way you block it? Do you adjust what side you run it from? It seems a pretty cut and dry thing.
No, I mean, I'm not going to get into all the ins and outs of it, but it's you can change a lot. That play, while it looks like it's one little deal, there's a lot of intricacies that go into that play, depending on how you want to block it, who you planning on running it, and that all is predicated on how they're trying to defend it. So, we'll go with something we do on every game. That's why it never works out quite the same. Some days running back has a better day, some days quarterback has.
From a Connor's perspective, who's the one or two guys in Nebraska defense he really has to watch out?
Well, 4 is their best player, the linebacker, and he can run. He's a good tackler. He's a very, very good football player, and their safeties get involved in the run game, very well. And number 8's aggressive, good player, smart player. Seems to read things very, very well. So. But 4 is the guy that kind of makes them tick, so to speak.
When you look at teams that had success, Michigan probably had about the most success. Is that a tape you guys watch just to see what they did against Nebraska, especially against number 8?
Yeah, I mean, you always try to watch people that have success against people, but we watch them all. we watch them all. So it's been you get these bowl games. You have 11, 12 games, 13 games, depending on who you're playing, to watch. So but you got plenty of time to do that. But yeah, we always like to watch those guys and who has success. I think everybody does.
Does Nebraska play more man coverage than what you've seen from other teams?
Not particularly. A little bit. I mean, that's something they do, kind of, zone man combinations and stuff. They do a lot of stuff. They're similar to a few teams we played this year.
I know number 8, Denard, one of them was talking about a week or so ago.
Steve Jr.
Not matching up with Elshon, one-on-one situation.
Yeah, I mean, you will get some chances. I mean, they got their blitz games and their blitz coverages, which is man, and you're going to get some opportunities, and we've gotten some opportunities throughout the season, and you hope when you get those that you can make a play.